Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's time to talk about another vehicle that has come out in Update La Royale, and it is the Object 211. Now, just to remind you, when it comes to this thing, the PT-76 for the Chinese is actually being removed on the 26th of June, so you just have less than 10 days to be able to grind it if you want it. So make sure to get that thing. It's being removed for historical reasons since China never used it. But still, if you do research it before the 26th of June, you will get access to it forever, and if you don't, it will completely disappear. So let's talk about its replacement, the Object 211. This one is pretty similar to it. It has some interesting qualities. The major difference is the gun on it. Instead of getting access to Heat FS, you get access to a larger caliber gun in the form of the 85mm Type 6285 TC. Now, this gun has access to two rounds, the 367 and the 365A. It pens a decent amount. It can go through most vehicles, especially with the 367 round, and that's where I personally found a decent amount of success with it against stuff like Tigers and Panthers, which are your main opposition in a vehicle like this. I've got to say, the stock grind of this thing was pretty bad, but once I got some modifications, specifically the horizontal drive, the elevation mechanism, and also the mobility options for the Object 211, it did get a lot easier to play because you were able to get to pretty decent positions early, be able to scout, which is the main role of this thing, and then also pop people from the side. The 211 is not a vehicle that I would generally enjoy. When I look at a vehicle like this, it has a lot of the factors that I don't like in the game. It has horrible targeting speed, it has absolutely horrific gun depression, has a long reload as well, and also has pretty much no armor, so you get killed by planes a lot. But my stats in the machine, I was able to get 32 ground kills, 15 deaths over 19 battles with a 53% win rate. So just looking at those stats, it actually is looking pretty good. But I will say a lot of those kills came from later battles when I was very close to spading the machine and had that mobility and also had kind of the knack of the vehicle sorted out. Now, one of the nice things about this vehicle is the fact that it has really good CAS backup. So if you're using it as a way to get into CAS, such as the P51K and also the IL-10 1946, it's not a bad option. The P51K is very good, its repair cost is a bit high, but the IL-10s is not too bad. So as CAS options, they work really well. But if you actually have a look at the ground side of things, basically removing this PT-76 has put a massive hole now in this lineup, which is around. So the 211 is at 5.0, and then you have the Fong Kong at 5.0, and then that's it. That's your ground lineup for China, which is, to be honest, abysmal. It's not good at all. And the backups, if you have a look at like the lower stuff, you have the ISU 152, which you'd never want to up tier. You have the ZST63, the M42, and then the M4A 175. So the AAs there are alright, but you already have the Fong Kong in the form of the AA. So what this lineup needs is some kind of additional support. And that additional support would have been great with the PT-76, but unfortunately they're removing it. So instead, you're left with this kind of weird, bad lineup around this 211, and since the 211 isn't a carry vehicle at all, it's a vehicle which can do its job well of being a scout and being able to fight tigers from the front, but also it's a vehicle which, you know, is more of a conduit to get into a plane, and then you've got to carry from the air. This is not a lineup that's ever going to be able to carry from the ground. That's more of the 5.7 lineup for China, and also the 3.7 lineup for them, which is incredibly powerful, or the 4.0 lineup compared to this 5.0 one. It's just in a weird space for a vehicle, but the problem is, the vehicle itself, the 211, works at its BR, you know, in an up tier. It is able to do the scouting, it's able to still pen quite a lot of stuff. In a down tier, it's able to bully and have a good time. And at its tier, it's able to do quite a lot of work. But the issue with it, just like a lot of other vehicles that are around the place, is it just doesn't have a lineup. And removing a vehicle which is part of that lineup just feels kind of counterintuitive. So for me, the vehicle felt pretty good once I got the decent modifications, but massively let down by the lineup around it. Hopefully you guys have a slightly better experience. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Millie Draper, Juan the Panda, Nick R. Cupila, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Merciless Reaper, Orange Tail, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Moxie B. Young, Peter Grayling, Jerry Provolt, Bareen, Alan Hacker, Sem Arslan, Uncle Bean, Derek R., and Lafouche for supporting the channel.